So your digital portfolio is a website. You can choose whatever platform you want. You want to use a Weebly or a Wix or whatever, it doesn't matter to me. But we're going to post directions for Google Sites. And the reason why we're choosing Google Sites is because we use Google Apps, we use G Suite, and it just integrates together really nicely. So when you create a notes document, it's easy to embed it into your website. So I'm gonna full screen sharing. So this is my fake student account who's gonna join CI 149. What you would do each week is you go to, it goes backwards. You gotta scroll down to find assignment number 1. So assignment number 1, so each week we'll post the agenda, and it's just a list. This is the stuff you're gonna do this week. Most of this week is just checking stuff off. Reading directions, I did it, done, okay? Most of it's done. So what you're gonna do then each week is just look at the agenda, you're gonna click on open, and you're gonna click on mark as done, and your marking is done, and you're just saying that you read, you looked at, like, yep, that's what I gotta do this week. That you would make a plan for getting all of it done. And I click on the arrow. Is it showing my screen okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Then I'm going to go up here to number 2. The number 2 asks you to make week 1 notes. So each week I'll make an assignment for the notes, and I'll make an assignment for the reflection. And so all you have to do is click on open and come down and click on create and create a Google Doc. So that's going to be your notes. Now here's a problem. If you turn it in, hold on, it's going to do it. If you click turn in, you can't edit it anymore. So don't turn it in until you're done with the notes, okay? So if I click on this link, it's right here in where it's the notes, it's going to open the Google Doc. And this is where you can put your, most importantly, you can put your Bitmojis in there. I have a Manmoji. There we go. So it's like each week, check the agenda and mark it up. I don't want your notes to be crazy. I'm really not into compliance. I don't need to see, I don't want a direct transcript of everything I wrote, but you put it on the notes, but that's not notes. There's a little bit of compliance. You know, how are you showing me that you did this stuff without getting crazy with it? Your notes should be useful to you. If you were to go back and look over them again, do you remember, like, oh, I needed to click on this? I might forget that. Take a screenshot, put it in there. Don't go crazy with your notes. What would be useful that demonstrates that you did the different activities? So you're going to, on the notes document, add to it all week. So what you want to just do on Monday or Tuesday is just make the document. You don't have to, like, do it. You have all week to put stuff on. If you turn it in, you lose the right to edit it. So if I turn this in, I should, if I refresh this, reload. It becomes view only. You turn it in, it becomes view only, and you can't type on it. I'm trying to, and I can't. So the trick is to just come back and hit unsubmit. And if you unsubmit, you have to refresh. Refresh. They'll take it from view only to allow you to edit. My recommendation is to do this. When you make the notes document, come over to the X and get rid of it. It doesn't delete the notes. It just removes it from Classroom so that when you mark it as done, it doesn't take away the editing rights. I find that so annoying. I hate that. Why would you? It's just what happens. So either unsubmit it or don't turn it in the first place. It's fine if your notes don't say turned in or turn in later. But you got to make your notes document. Then in later weeks, you would also have an assignment for your reflection. You would do the same thing where you click create. You create a Google Doc of where you would write your weekly reflection. You just don't have to have one the first week. Okay, number 3, you would read this, go to this website, read it, mark it as done. Number 4, you're going to tell me how you participate in the Google Plus community, and please don't go crazy. Wrote a post and liked 2 posts. There you go. That's, don't get crazy here. Do the Flipgrid activity and then mark it as done. Read whatever I got on this website and then mark it as done. This is where I have some instructions. So I have some videos. It's just talking about teaching in the 21st century. And so you just watch it. If you mark it as done, you're telling me that you watched it. You should have some notes in your notes. Don't go crazy. What were your key takeaways? What was the important things for you to remember? And then if you mark it as done, you're telling me you did it. Do not mark something as done if you didn't do it. That's the kind of stuff that gets you in trouble. You know, that's lying. So, number 8 is just telling you that next week we're going to sign up for stuff, so be ready to sign up for your group. Number 9 is directions for setting up a Twitter. So if you want to get that done, we'll help you out with it next week if you'd rather do the workshop on that next week. Number 10 is optional. You can see it says optional up here on the topic. If you'd like to install these Chrome extensions, they do have to be on Chrome. And then number 11 here says start your digital portfolio. So that's what we're looking at right now. If you click on this link in number 11, it does take you to a website with directions on how to create your digital portfolio. And you're welcome to just read that. But look, I made that in a hotel room also. What a surprise. I'm always in a hotel. So the way to make your digital portfolio, and again, I want to point out that on number 11, all the directions are linked right on there. So if you miss something, you can always go back and look at it there. So what I need you guys to do is open a new tab, and if you go to sites.google.com/new, sites.google.com/new, that's where you're going to make a new Google site. Sites.google.com/new. Wait a minute. So to get workshop credit, you can't watch. You got to participate. So workshops are active participation. So if you don't want to do this now, you can just do it later on your own time and follow the directions and do different workshops. Once you're in, you're going to click the plus sign in the bottom right-hand corner where it says create a new site. The bottom right-hand corner says create a new site. And this is what your site blank is going to look like. Up here in the corner, it says untitled site. PI 149, Alice Keeler. Actually, this one's Krista. My fake Krista, all 2017. And if you click up in the upper corner, those two will match. If you would like to name your site, up there in the corner, there's 2 places where you name your site.
We just put our first name, or do we put our last name as well for the site name?
You can put whatever you want. You can always change it later, but whatever. You I really would like to emphasize that I don't like to show people how to do stuff. I don't like to show you how to do stuff because then you'll do it exactly how I do it. And in the previous, get to know me thing, I'm trying to emphasize to you, when we do the 4 C's for 21st century teaching and learning, we actually try to avoid collecting 30 of the same thing because it's not creative thinking and it's probably not critical thinking. Legitimately, it's better for you to kind of figure it out yourself and customize it the way that makes sense to you. You can always make edits later. But if I show you how to do it, I'm doing the thinking for you. And then and if I show you how to do it, everyone does it the same, and it's very uninteresting. So I'm showing you some stuff, but don't feel like this is exactly how you have to do it. You should make your own decision. If it doesn't make sense to you, do something else that does make sense. This bores me with this background here. So it says change image. You can upload or select an image. I'm going to give you guys a link here in the chat. Right here. It's alicekeeler.com/site. We're doing a workshop. We're doing some more interesting things. So I'm going to go to alicekeeler.com/sitesbanner. Everybody able to get there? It should prompt you to make a copy. You choose the make a copy link button. Does anybody need any help with making the copy? Melissa, did you get it?
Yeah, I'm looking at that right now.
Yeah, but were you able to make one yourself? Are you at the alicekeeler.com/sites banner? I'm going to post it on the Google Plus community. Hold up. I have too many accounts open right now. And this one. Here we go. Posting this to the Google Plus community. Does everybody have a copy of the drawing? Unless they have one?
I have one.
So what I'm going to do then is, do you see where it's white?
Mm-hmm.
Where it's white, I'm going to right click, choose background, and I'm going to pick a different color. What color do you want as your background? So the blue part is just there because that's the only part you see. What happens is the website's what's called responsive. So as you change, like you see it on your phone, it shrinks it down, and it's like as you stretch and get a bigger screen, it stretches it out. So sometimes it'll show the top and bottom, but it usually crops off the top and bottom of your picture. So since I know it's going to crop it off, I don't put anything there. So like no man's zone, put it in the middle. It's a trick. It's a trick. It took me a long time to figure this out because it was driving me crazy that I'd post my pictures and it would like cut it off, so it's just showing my nose. That was not what I wanted to have happen. So I made this template, right? Okay, so now whatever you want in your banner, you want to add a picture, you insert image, you can upload a picture, You can do this where you take a creepy snapshot. So if you have photos, you want to put a photo in there. Instead of uploading the photo, put the photo on the banner template where it's in the blue zone. Put it in the blue zone. And I put it, if it's in the blue zone, it won't get cropped. If you just upload your photo, it'll cut off the top and the bottom and it'll drive you crazy. I like to use Bitmoji. So I use the Bitmoji Chrome extension. Is it showing this? It just doesn't show the Chrome extension. Okay, so I use the Bitmoji Chrome extension. And I literally drag from the Chrome extension onto the banner. So you design that however you want. I'm not putting effort into this. You should put some effort into it later. And then I click on the blue box and I delete it. Because the blue box is just there to show you where the middle is. So will you just take a few seconds to do something temporarily? I posted to the Google Plus community the link, the alicekiller.com/site banner. You can start over later. So, you know, like 5 weeks from now when you're not feeling overwhelmed and you're like, wow, my site is ugly. I'm gonna make this look better. Then you redo it, right? For now, just get something ugly on there, then fix it later. I'm gonna give you a couple of minutes. Taking selfies, don't mind me. Okay, you guys have something?
Yeah.
One more time? You good? More time? Okay, you ready? So the trick with these, I'll tell you, the trick with these workshops, the best trick would be if you could have 2 computers. That would be the best, because then you can have the video on one computer and then doing whatever you, because if you're doing a workshop, you gotta be doing it. That's what makes it a work. Okay, do that. If you don't have 2 computers, which you probably don't, then you have to keep going back and forth between the video and then what you're doing. So what I like to do is I like to get the video like just to the side of the screen, so then I can work, and then I can just kind of go back and forth or the side by side with the video. He's having a back channel chat. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to screen sharing. I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna do. In order to get this into the banner, I have to go File, Download as JPEG or PNG, whichever one you like. File, Download as. So do that right now. Go to the File menu and download it. If I'm going too fast, just let me know. And you have to do that by yelling at me. You can't type it at me because obviously I'm not looking at the chat. File, download as JPEG or PNG. Usually like PNG. Download it. Look over here. It's in the header where it says change image, choose upload. In the header where it says change image, do upload. Upload. You gotta find it. Good luck with that. Isn't that fun? It's fun. Now this is your
So,
Somebody.
what's up, guys?
Hey. We are going over how to make the digital portfolio. Reverberating. We're going over the digital portfolio. The directions are in number 11. You can probably figure this out yourself, most likely, if you're able to follow the directions. But if you're going to do the workshop, you have to be making it with us at the same time. Okay, so on that home page there, you guys, what you want to do later is that's introducing yourself. It's about you, talking about your portfolio and what kind of teacher you want to be is the first thing people see. So later, you're going to want to design up your home page, okay? So the next thing you want to do is come over to pages on the side. This pages, and click add page, and you want to type blog. So you're going to make a page called blog. So now each week, what you're going to do is you're going to go to your portfolio. You're going to go to pages. You're going to click on the blog. And then do you see the 3 dots on the blog on the side? And you're going to create a subpage. So you're going to make a subpage every week. Make a subpage every week. Create a subpage. So we're going to call this week 1, August 23rd. Like that. Okay, so if you could make a page that says blog, and then click on the 3 dots, make a subpage that's for week 1. There's a lot of background noise, Eric, so I'm gonna mute it. There we go. Unmute yourself so you can talk, but just general etiquette for when you're on a chat is to leave yourself muted and then unmute yourself and talk. And then, but if you're not talking, you generally keep it muted just because everybody's background noise starts to be a problem sometimes. Anyone having any trouble with making the blog or the subpage? Everybody done? Okay. No? All right. I'll wait. This is why I recommend that you follow the directions yourself, because otherwise you've got to wait for everybody. Stand.
So where exactly do you want us to write like the information about ourselves?
Oh, you would do it. Well, first you can do it however you want. I don't want to tell you.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you. I want you to decide what is the best way to represent yourself on this digital portfolio. That what needs to happen is if I look at your portfolio, I have to be able to find what I'm grading. Mm-hmm. When you looked at the rubric that said this is what you get graded on for the semester, and I have like lesson plan, that's a big one, right? Mm-hmm. Lesson plan is a big thing in this class. Mm-hmm. If I go to your digital portfolio, can I find it?
Okay, yeah.
Do it however you want. Do it however you want. But just make sure you clearly communicate. And how you clearly communicate might be different than how Eric clearly communicates. I want you to be creative.
Okay.
Okay, I want, like on everything. I want everything you do this semester for you to make decisions and you decide what you want to do. And if you make decisions and it turns out to be a disaster, it's okay. Mm-hmm. I'd rather you try than just try to be me. I'd rather you try to be you than try to be me. Don't be me. Mm-hmm. Okay? If I can't find it and it's not clearly communicated, I'll tell you and you'll fix it. So don't stress. Don't stress. Okay, so once you've got the subpage, so each week you're going to make a new subpage. And then on that page, here's the magic sauce to Google Sites. Double click. So when I double click, it gives me this wheel. And then I can put in a picture, or I can upload stuff, or I can add something from Google Drive, or just put in some text. I'm going to put in some text. I'm going to call it Week 1 Notes. Underneath that, I'm going to double click. I'm going to do it from Drive. Where are your notes? They're in Google Drive. So I do from Drive. I'll click on Recent. There's those notes. These are the notes document. It's number 2. And you might want to stretch it out and resize it. Underneath that, I'm going to double click, add a text box, and call it Reflection. Now, normally I would double click and go from Drive because I'm going to have a Reflection Google Doc and a Notes Google Doc, and I'd want to embed both of them. But this week, I didn't ask you to make a Reflection. So this week, we'll just say double click text, no reflection this week, unless you want to. All right, let me zoom out a little bit. So I double clicked and I inserted a text box and I said Recent Notes. I double clicked and I said from Drive and I put in my notes document. I double clicked and I put in a text box that said Reflection. And then I double clicked and I would normally do from Drive Reflection document, but instead just put a text box that said I don't have one. Oh, no, I am screen sharing. Question.
All right, so I had a question. For the notes, it's just stuff that would benefit us, so they don't necessarily have to make sense.
No, they don't have
to reading it, correct? And the reflection is just from that?
You organize the notes in a way that's good for you. It should not be a disaster. Can we agree on that?
Mm-hmm.
So they should make sense to you. Let me more clearly say they should make sense to you later. If you go look at it 3 weeks from now, would it remind you of the stuff that you want to remember from this class? Because we're going to learn a ton of stuff, I promise.
Okay.
I promise. We're going to learn a ton of stuff.
Okay, I was just making sure, because, I mean, I didn't know if it had to make sense to other people that read it or just to me.
Just as a rule of thumb, when you try to make something make sense to others, it actually helps clarify it for you.
Mm.
So it's kind of a double bonus.
Oh, okay.
If someone were to borrow your notes, would they be pretty good on what happened that week?
Okay, I get what you mean.
No, I'm going to be honest with you, Eric. I don't look at your notes, okay? I don't. I mean, I do. If I go through your digital portfolio and I see that you have no notes or they're blank or they're extra crappy looking, I'm going to look at all your notes. Your notes are mostly for you. They're not for me. There's a little bit for me. Like, you know, that is a compliance piece that if I can't tell, look, at the end of the semester, I will have, it's pretty easy for me to tell if you've been doing stuff or not. We do so much stuff in here, it'll be really hard for you to fake it.
Okay. And then another question.
Okay, but hold on. If I'm like, you've been doing all semester, then I start getting into your notes and I like dig through them and I look really closely, you know. So I really only get into your notes and really start to criticize it if it looks like I need to. So don't make them for me, other than you're like, well, if she were to look at this, it needs to make sure that there's at least evidence for the week, but she's probably not going to look at it. So don't put 10 things if you don't need 10 things. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Don't give me more. Don't put more on there because you think I want it.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was worried about.
Put a little on there because, okay, I get this and I don't need to write anything down. Okay, that might be true. Could you at least put a one-liner or a screenshot or just a little bit, just so I know that you did the activity without getting crazy? So a little bit for me, mostly for you. Okay, that's.
And then I was going to ask you about the reflection. The reflection is just, what are you looking for? Just what we learned from the activity, or?
This class is the reflection. If there is anything that you take seriously in this class, it's the reflection. So what we do is we give you a bunch of experiences that you may or may not be successful at. It's the first time you do anything. What should you expect that happens the first time you try something? It should probably not be that awesome. Because it's the first time, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not grading it. You need to relax. Like, wow, I tried these 10 extra things because I was thinking, what does that button do? I want you to do that. You see a button, you're like, what are you doing? I want you to click it because it will not affect your grade.
Okay.
That's how you learn. You learn by exploring. I want you to explore. Okay. So when you explore and you screw it up, you actually learn more. And so I want to know, what did you learn? If you messed it up, what did you learn? If you did it right, what did you learn? I want it to not be a book report. I want you to think, how do I apply this to my classroom? So Eric, just real quick, what have we done this week? Well, we set up a digital portfolio and we learned how to insert notes. How would you or would you not do something like that in your class? Tell me.
Oh, okay.
No, just tell me.
Oh, right now? Okay. Yeah, it's a good way of tracking progress and then looking back to see if, because I do, when I do learn something, if I don't constantly use it, I'll forget it, and then I have to relearn how to do it again.
You see how you're using all your own ideas right there?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I want. That's exactly what I want. I want you to take what we did and for you to reflect on it and be like, this was cool. I would use this in my classroom because what you just said was awesome because it was justifying your reasoning. You said, I might do this with my students. I might do it this way, or I might do it this way differently because, or you might say, you know what, this is totally not what I'm going to do. I think kids should just do stuff on paper because there is no wrong answer so long as you give a good, solid thinking justification. So you don't have to agree with me, but you can't just say, I just like it better. You can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
You got to show me that you thought about it. And so you can't write too much. I think the minimum is 300 words. Fourth graders do 300 words. Fourth graders. I mean, I can't write, my emails are more than 300 words. The reason why I want 300 words is because if you're really thinking about your classroom, in my classroom, I want to do this because you think you can do that in less than 300 words if you're doing a good rationalization. If you're really thinking about it and putting some thought into it, can you do it in less than 300 words? I doubt it. If you can and you want to justify that to me, it's possible. It is possible for you to convince me that you did an awesome job in 100 words. It's not possible. I'm always willing to listen to your argument, but how are you going to really put a lot of thought into 100 words? You got to be master of conciseness. You are king of concise. In my doctoral program, one of my friends, he is a really good writer. He is a really good writer. You should not add or subtract to it at all. He writes it clearly, and he would always get marked down because he didn't have enough words. He didn't need more words. He didn't. He's just really good at writing clearly. He had 10 pages, and he did 9. But his 9 pages of content was better than my 12 pages of content, But we're not doing compliance. I don't word count unless it sucks. But the reflections are not for, I do read the reflections, but the reflections are not for me. It's you planning out your future classroom. I'll ask Melissa. Melissa, do you think you should think about your future classroom before you walk in the door?
Of course.
That was a trick question. So that's what you're doing all semester. Like, what do I want to do when I become a teacher? And why am I going to do that? And that's the entire class is you thinking about what you're going to do in your class. And that's all your reflections. That is what I want to know what kind of teacher you're going to be. Does that make sense? Hopefully it does. Okay, so coming back. Better wrap this sucker up. If you want to get fancy, if you hover over like where it says notes, each section has a section background, and you can change the emphasis. You can change it from normal text. You see how my week 1 says normal text? And I change it to title or heading. You want to get fancy? And one more way to get fancy is to come over to the themes button. Over here on the right-hand side, it says themes. And pick a different theme and a different theme color. So that's up to you to play with. Just take a second to see if you can change a color of one of the sections. So you hover over it, and then there's like a little pink palette on the side. Can you change the text into a heading? And can you change the theme? Does anyone have any questions on those 3 things? Yeah, are you able to screen share? That's a good idea. Thanks, Quentin. That's looking good. You got a nice deep. You see, Quentin, how your bulldog got truncated, cut off the top and the bottom? That's where you might want to put that bulldog picture on my template instead. You can play with that later. I see you got a blog page, but you don't have a sub page. Quentin, you need a sub page. Melissa, do you see how to do screen sharing?
Yes.
If you want to share your screen, I can take a look and see how you're doing. Eric, ditto.
Let me sign on to my site first.
Okay.
What was the other page beside sub page?
You'd make a blog, and then you'd make a week 1 sub page.
Oh, okay, week 1, that's right.
Then next week you'll do the 3 dots, and you'll create a new sub page that's week 2. Or is that September 1st? Maybe, I don't know. Pretend I know what the date is. So it's gonna end up looking like this. Do you see I'm doing that?
Yes, yeah.
And then you'll end up with like 15 sub pages.
Yikes.
I'm trying to screen share. Can you see mine?
I can. It's got a cute puppy on it.
Yeah.
Oh, that looks good. Now click on where it says blog so I can just kind of see how that looks. Yep, click on week 1. Okay, you've got a different header on there, but you didn't get your notes document in there. So make sure you do that later.
Right.
Or, you know how to do it? Do you feel like you're okay with how to get it in there?
My notes from the Google Doc?
Yeah.
I think so. Do I just click on here?
Yep, you can do that, or you can double click. Boom. It's from Drive.
Mm,
Down to the bottom. There you go.
Perfect.
Yep. If it's in your Drive, you can put it on your site. See how easy that is?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the real trick here is, you guys, you should play around. Don't wonder. Click on it.
Mhm. Yeah.
Like, you see over here on the side where it says map? Okay. Don't wonder. Figure that out.
Mhm.
I want you to play with things and learn how to do it, because you just click on everything. You guys, I worked at Pizza Hut when I was in high school. When I was at Pizza, it was a brand new Pizza Hut. And so I worked there for 40 minutes. For 40 minutes, I worked at Pizza Hut. And then I was the official trainer. It was a brand new Pizza Hut, so everyone was being trained. I was training everybody on how to order pizzas. How was I able to do that? I walked over the computer and I ordered all the pizzas. I'm like, mushrooms, I know where that is. I just pushed it a minute ago. That's what makes me good at technology. What I do is, if I were you, just think about it. I would make a brand new site that I plan to make explode. And I would go down that menu and I would click on every single one of those things in the menu, and I would figure out what every single thing in the menu does. And that's how I learned technology. You'll be hard pressed to find somebody better than me. All right. So guys, we're supposed to be done here. So I'm going to just real quickly share my window and show you the last step. And then you guys are on your own to play, okay? So the last step is to click on publish. And then you got to name it. Something. You're going to name it something. And you want to change it from anyone at Fresno State to anyone on the web. And then you want to click publish. Now, when you're looking at week 1, you want to see week 1 in front of your face. You want to go to the tiny triangle next to publish. So you've published it. Then you want to view the published site. You want to view the published site. So do you notice it? I can't edit it right now. This is what the website looks like. And I want to be looking at week 1, and up in the header, excuse me, up at the top, it should say week 1 up in the URL up at the top. See that? That's the link you turn into Google Classroom. So back in Google Classroom on number 11, you click on 11, you add a link, and you paste the link to week 1 and turn it in. Actually, that's not number 11. Whatever, I can find it. On number 11, you would just turn in the link to the main page. It really doesn't matter because I can find it. A tiny triangle, view the published site. So I'm looking at the home page. So I would actually unsubmit. Oops, add a link to the home page. Get rid of week 1. Turn that in. And then back on number 12 where it says sign in. Sign in would be the link to week 1. That's one that's week 1. So each week you turn in add link. You turn in the link to that week. Turn in. Okay, so any questions? You're going to be working in groups. We have you do group work every week. You meet with your CLG. That's going to be super helpful for you to just like, this is what I did. What did you do? You're going to have you'll use that time to ask each other questions, and then it's going to be, that'll be helpful. Trust me.
Can we use this? Here, I'm going to show you.
I have no idea what that is, but I like you. I would
It's
certainly
Google
encourage
Web
you to play with it.
Designer, and I guess it's free.
I've never heard of that.
Oh, okay.
But because it's in beta, if
I
you
guess-
want to use that, I will give
Sure.
you a high five. Now, understand, Quentin, if it's a disaster, it's okay.
Yeah.
I would rather you play with this and try and figure it out and it not work than for you to just do something that doesn't challenge you.
Okay. It looks like you can do
Like,
those.
I don't know if I'm gonna do it.
What's that?
Do that. I would love it if you did that. I would love it.
Okay.
If you decide later, like it's not working, what we'll do is we'll regroup and we'll decide what do you need to pull together in some way to show me.
Okay.
Because I mean, you got your notes and reflections in a Google Doc, right? So those are easy. Those are still around and they're in a folder. I can just look at those. So Quentin, whatever. If at the end, if it just really doesn't work out and you're like, I just can't start from scratch, don't.
Okay.
We'll make a compromise.
Okay.
Okay. I would really make sure you do a good job of putting screenshots in your notes so that if the web designer thing explodes, really everything's in your notes anyway in a Google Doc, so it won't be a crisis.
Okay.
Okay. And if it comes down to it that your digital portfolio ends up just being your notes and reflections of Google Docs, I won't get upset.
Okay.
But I would be really excited to see what you tried.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So I admire that. I admire it. Do it. Anybody else have any questions? Play, push on buttons. Don't wonder. Click on it. What does this map thing do? Click on it. Try and make one. Why would you make a map for your class? That's what goes in the reflection. Like, oh, I just put a map in there. Oh, how would I teach with this? That's how you get to be a good teacher. Night, you guys.